Hey guys, it's Delight. I am here to show you how to do a half double crochet. So this is a little bit taller than a single crochet and a little bit shorter than a double crochet. So you would think that a single crochet would be like half the height of a double crochet. No, there is single, actually there's slip stitch, there's single, there's half double, and then there's double. There might be more in between there, I'm not sure, but those are kind of the basic ones that you want to know. And half double crochets, this is what they look like after you've done a few rows. Oh, it's upside down actually. This is my foundation right here. Half double crochets are nice because they're a little bit, like I said, they're taller than single crochets, so they add up faster. Like you can finish your project in less stitches if you're trying to make something with half double crochets versus single crochets. And then they're tighter. The stitches, since they're smaller than a double crochet, they're a little bit tighter and smaller, and they don't look as, like, they don't have as big of gaps between stitches and like as double crochets. Like I don't love the look of double crochets in general. There's certain things where they work really well, but I wouldn't make something like this just like in a rectangle or square with double crochets usually, because I just don't like how they look that much, but that's just me. So what you're gonna need for this video is a crochet hook, some worsted weight yarn. This one is Loops and Threads Impeccable in Skylight. If you like this color, I am kind of feeling this minty green because it is currently January in Montana and I am dreaming of spring. This is a nice, really springy color. And today, of course, you want to grab a hot drink to crochet with me. Today I've got some chai. It is really good, and it is the Good Earth kind of chai. It's called Sweet Chai of Mine, so look for that. And it's, oh, there's a quote. Let's see what it says. Don't be afraid to fail. Be afraid not to try. Oh, very inspirational. Thank you, Good Earth Tea. One more thing before we crochet. I need to brag for 1 second. I'm sitting here in my kitchen doing this introduction for you, and I looked over and I saw this nice little bouquet of flowers that my boyfriend got me last weekend. Good job, Josh. So this is the first time he ever brought me flowers, and I wasn't feeling very good, and he went to the grocery store, and when he came back, he had this little bouquet, and he's like, I saw these and thought of you, and it is so perfect. I love this color. I love it. I was so happy about it, so I just had to give him a little shout out and just brag on my sweetness. So, all right, now that that's over, let's get to crocheting. We're going to start out with a slip knot and 21 chains. If you don't know how to do this far, I'll link up some videos below on the slip knot and chaining. So that's what we're going to need to get started to practice the half double crochet. So the next thing you'll do is pick it up and start thinking about going the other way and putting a half double crochet into each of these chains. So you will wrap the yarn around the hook and you'll go into the second chain from the hook. So you're not going to put your stitch in that one, you're going to put it in that one right there. So it goes in like that. So now you'll see you have 3 loops on the hook. So you're going to wrap around and you're going to pull through like that. And then you're going to wrap around again and you're going to pull through all 3. So it turns out just a little taller than a single crochet because you've done that extra loop around. So, or the extra yarn over at the beginning. So again, you yarn over, put your hook into the next stitch, yarn over and pull up the loop. So there's still 3 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through all 3. And then keep going like that all the way down to the end, and you will have 20 half double crochets by the time you get to the end, because we had 21 chains and we used one of the chains to turn. So that means we'll have 1 less half double crochet when we finish it. So just reviewing this, but a little faster. I like half double crochets because they're a little taller than single crochets. I do almost everything with single crochets, but I like half double crochets because they're a little taller, so that means that they you finish your project faster. You need less stitches to make something the same size, if you know what I mean. So I kind of like that about working with half double crochets when I've been doing so many things with single crochets for years and years. So I will go all the way to the end to get my 20 half double crochets, and then I will show you how to turn around and go back the other way so you can make a whole swatch and keep practicing. Okay, so I've made it to the end. I've done my 20 half double crochets in the bottom here. And I just wanted to mention this. See how it's curling like that? That is totally normal and okay. Don't worry if yours does that. It will flatten out as you go. If you're trying to actually make something, of course, you don't have to worry if this is just practice, but if you're trying to make something like, I don't know, a washcloth or a scarf or something like that, and it started curling, that doesn't mean anything's wrong. So it'll just flatten out as you keep going. All right, so we're at the end, and now we are going to turn and go back the other way. So what I would do to turn here is to do 2 chains. So just wrap around and pull through. So we've got 2 chains. Now flip it over, and now we're gonna go the other way again. And we start out, this was the tricky part, I think, for beginners, is like how to do this, because these 2 chains are actually gonna count as a half double crochet. When you're going like this in rows, you wanna count, this is called the turning chain here, where you have these 2 chains. And this is going to count as one of your half double crochets. So that means you're not going to put another half double crochet right here. So that's already taken by your turning chains. If you did, then if you did it like that, if you put a half double crochet here, then every single row you make would just get bigger and bigger and bigger, and it would look like a pyramid type of shape eventually, because you'd be adding a stitch every single time. So we don't want that. So that is why when you turn, you're going to wrap around. You're not going to go through right there. You're going to go through the next stitch down, which is right there. And keep going with your half double crochets. So now I've essentially got 3 stitches in this row because that turning chain right here counted as 1. So you'll keep going along like this and keep practicing your half double crochets. And then you might have a question when you go and turn and come back around and you end up here, like where do you put your stitch? So I will do that much and come back to show you, to help you figure out like, how do I do this, this last one in the turning chain? Like where do I put my stitch so that I don't accidentally put an extra stitch or like miss one? So we will go over that quickly before we end this video. My 3rd row, and now I'm getting to the point where I am going to be putting a stitch into the turning chain that I made when I turned to create the 2nd row right here. And that always confused me when I was a beginner. So I just want to go over that with you in slow motion a little bit. So I've done counting my turning chain here as 1 stitch, I have done 18 stitches across. So I've got 1 more half double crochet to do right here. And in a regular, this is the top of a regular half double crochet. And then I got to put 1 into my turning chain. So we'll do that. This is my last half double crochet in the top of another half double crochet. And now we're going to put a half double crochet in the top of the turning chain. And like, question is, where do you put your hook? So you have to loop your yarn over. You could put your hook through there. That's kind of like in between the turning chain and the first half double crochet of this row. That's going to make kind of a big hole. So you don't really want to do that. Unless you're just practicing your half double crochet and you don't care what this looks like, then that's fine. But I would go through like right there or so. Like I would just go under that little loop right there. Somewhere like
just put your hook somewhere in the middle of that like turning chain situation. I wouldn't put it through this hole, like I wouldn't put it in between these two stitches. Don't go there. Just shove your hook somewhere towards the top of this, and that will look the best if you're trying to actually make something of this. And then you just do your 2 turning chains, you turn around, and you'd start going the other way, just like that. And then, like I said, you can turn this, you can just do this to practice until you've got your half double crochets, or you could turn this into something like a scarf or a washcloth or anything you want that's rectangular or square shaped. So that is a half double crochet. I hope you liked this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next one.